Hello, viewers. It is a pleasure to be with you again at the Village Bell Academy, discussing issues that impact our businesses. Today, we want to talk about the current economic hardship occasioned by inflation. There's runaway inflation virtually in every economy now. In previous videos, I've tried to give some tips on how you can stay afloat in spite of the inflationary situation. Today I want to talk about one fact that we may not run away from. Though we may pretend it does not exist, but it exists. The current situation is able, if you don't watch out for it clearly, to create more incidences of fraud or fraudulent practices in our organization. What do I mean? You see, if you know what we call the fraud triangle, we have three, which is opportunity, when people have access to funds, due to lack of managerial control or override of control and stuff like that. And when they have pressure, they have financial pressures on them. So they may try to help themselves, in quotes, so to say, with some resources that they are not strictly entitled to. So then, over time, they justify it, rationalization. It is now very, very easy to rationalize fraud because of the pressure of the economy is biting, and those who have access to, who control finances, who control the resources of the organization, without moral constraint, will do a lot damage to the organization. Sujewa and his colleagues or researchers in 2018, they brought another angle into the trajectory of fraud triangle, which they call capability. Those who have access, who have power of authorization, when they are faced with this situation, with the pressure, and of course they have the opportunity, and at the end of the day, they're able to rationalize their thing, whatever they have done, may be prone to fraudulent practices. So business owners should be mindful of this. Business owners should be careful of this. You should not put yourself under the pressure that you don't adequately supervise, your business. So there are pressures, especially at a moment like this. Yes, this may be true that not every employee, not every person will have the opportunity or the capability, if you want to go by Sujewa fourth suggestion, which is no longer a triangle now, because it's now having 4 legs. Those who have capability, those who have the opportunity, what would they do different? Does it mean all of them will be fraudulent? It is difficult to say. It is unreasonable to conclude that those who have capability, those who have opportunity to manage other people's resources, will necessarily be fraudulent. That would be an unfair generalization. However, those who have that, if they have financial pressures on them, and without moral constraints, what would they do? They might become fraudulent not by choice, but by the pressure on them. Today, people, those of us who are on social media, we know the kind of pressure we have. This is not even your own personal pressure of people asking you for one thing or the other. This could drive some people to put their hands in the till if they have opportunity to do so, if they have the capability to do so. Of course, it is even easier to rationalize. Now, for business owner, the cost of production, the cost of service is increasing. But then, don't say because of that you don't pay attention to your staff. When you don't pay attention to your employees, they can do more damages to your business, even than the cost of input that is skyrocketing every day. It is not a good time to run business because everybody is groaning, and the economic pressure, the inflation pressure on everybody can create unintended consequences in organization. And that unintended consequences is fraud. Except people with high ethical values, which is one of the things that Sujewa and his colleague of research also alluded to. But then, some of these values can crumble when the pressure becomes unbearable. So for business owners, this is a very delicate balancing, especially if you run a business that you are not an active participant. Your business is being managed by other people. I've said this, if you don't take care of their welfare, now that everybody is under pressure, how many of your employees can you guarantee will resist putting their hands into the cookie jar, as it is someone said? Fraud management is going to be tougher at a time like this. Fraud prevention is going to be tougher at a time like this. Whatever mechanism you are putting in place to reduce or to prevent fraud, you must be careful to make sure that as much as possible you are reducing the pressure, the economic pressure on your employees. This is a difficult task because business owners are already groaning under the unfriendly prices of inputs. Now, how do you add that? How do you add the issue of employee management into it in terms of financial pressure? Do you increase their salary at a time like this? Do you give them special allowance at a time like this? Because your input is already high. Maybe your unit sold, the number of units you sell is reducing. You are barely able to break even. Now, you delay salary, which is very dangerous. This is not a time to delay salary. When you do delay salary, you are putting your employees under economic pressure, and they may not see reason with you why they should not commit fraud. What do you do? It's either you increase your costs. For instance, you have ability to revolving overdraft. That will increase your costs. But a revolving overdraft, for instance, may enable you to pay salary as and when due, with its associated cost. So it is a case of cost benefit you have to do here. If you delay salary, do you guarantee that your staff, your employee will not steal? Those who have opportunity, who have access to money, will they not steal? And if they are stealing, it is even difficult to measure the cost, because when they have the opportunity to steal and they have the capability because they are in charge of your finances, what they are stealing may be higher than the cost of overdraft you are paying. Think about this. The economic pressure is pushing people to the wall. And the minimum you must do as a business owner at a time like this is to do everything possible that at the barest minimum, you don't delay paying your employees. If you delay, you will be paying a higher price because the moral constraint they would have otherwise probably have will no longer be there. Especially for business owners who live a very flamboyant life, who would rather spend recklessly than pay the employees. You will be putting yourself for unintended consequences of fraud in your organization. So I'm talking about employers or business owners in terms of contributory negligence. They are actually the attitude, the behavior of some employer that inadvertently pave way for fraud. When you don't care about staff welfare, when you delay their emoluments, when what to pay them is terribly low compared with the effort they are putting into business, you may be putting yourself up for fraudulent activities. Remember, you still need these employees to run the business. If you don't take good care of them, if you don't pay them on time, they will not have regrets. In quote, stealing if they have to. I know it is tough already. Anyone running business at a time like this is going through a lot. But whatever we are going through, whatever you are going through as a business owner, don't turn blind eyes to the welfare of your employees. Communicate with them. Be open with them. Let them know the situation. If you are a reckless spender, caution yourself. Lead by example. I've read a lot of things on social media. People who donate money, who buy cars for people who are not working in the organization, and they refuse to pay their employees. When such employees have the capability and the opportunity, what do you think will constrain them from stealing? What do you think will constrain them from being fraudulent? Think about it. Fraud, most of the time, may not be the fault of the employees. Though fraud is not justified by any means. But then, we have to always look at the other side of the coin. As you are trying to find solution to the inflation at the impact of your business, please and please don't neglect what is happening to your employees. If you do, you might bite your fingers. There's so much economic pressure today, and we don't know how long it will last. That not paying attention to employees' welfare, by delaying, either deliberately or by whatever it means, employee salaries, you are priming them for fraud. Don't act in a way that your workers will see committing fraud as the only means of survival. Don't do that. Pay attention. Pay close attention to what you do. I know it's already hard. It is tough running business at a time like this. But then, this time will come to pass. But before then, pay good attention to the employees. We can also appeal to employees to be sympathetic to the employers, to the business owners. They are not smiling either. But they must see something to convince them that they should be sympathetic. Let everybody that is still engaged, that is still employed, know that your employers are also smiling. Things are tough. Cost of input, cost of production, cost of ready service is skyrocketing. For all you care, your employer might be running at a loss at a time like this. I know some employees will say, oh, our bosses, they are very greedy, they only think about themselves. Sometimes it is true. But what are those who are doing everything possible to stay afloat? This is a time we should have good understandings among ourselves. Running business at a time like this is tough. Even those who have invested, you will see the way at which investment is deteriorating. But then, it is almost it's actually a global issue now. It's a global phenomenon. Every economy is growing. But at the same time, I appeal to business owners to watch out so that they don't inadvertently encourage an atmosphere of fraud in the organization. The pressure is real, and those who have opportunity and capability, without moral constraint, without good supervision, without concern for their welfare, may not think twice before they commit fraud. Pay attention to what could create loopholes in your organization. The inflation is affecting everybody, but it is your interest as a business owner to know what you must do to remain in business. Don't take actions that could jeopardize your interest. Understand that the pressure is real for everyone, including those who work with you or work for you. Don't neglect their feelings. Don't push them to the wall. Thank you very much. I remain your village boy. Subscribe. Thank you for those who have subscribed. Share with friends. And let us know what you think about all these tips. Thank you.